Hello. So today I am joined by Rachel Holmes. Rachel, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Rachel Holmes. I'm 19 years old. I'm currently a freshman at UC Berkeley. Some of my hobbies include drawing, reading, baking, and theater. I do a lot of sports. I'm on the club water polo team at UC Berkeley, but I've been a synchronized swimmer for most of my life, and I do that professionally now. Um, in high school, I discovered a passion for business activism and community organizing, and I sort of merged those all together to create my business program, Black Girls Mean Business, which I am the founder and director of.
Amazing, amazing. So Black Girls Means Business is a program designed to teach Black girls who are in high school how to be entrepreneurs and business people, right? So how do you put them on that path?
Yeah, definitely. So we offer a series of Zoom workshops every summer. We provide them with mentoring from business professionals, networking opportunities for like-minded girls and business professionals that can help them with job opportunities and support later down the road, and resources like scholarship opportunities, articles, and then the contact information and references from everything in the program. The workshops range on everything from entrepreneurship, financial literacy, job applications and interviews, college readiness, future plans and goal setting, and much more. We do focus a lot on business because we do think it is ingrained in every industry, and it's very important to be good at business. But we also do focus a lot on career development, so making sure that they have the tools they need to succeed going into any career that they decide to pursue.
I think that's really, really good. I think the thing you said about connections is really, really important. Like you're putting them with good people because business is best when you have connections. It's easier and there's people who can do things a little bit better than you that you can use their work. Um,
Exactly.
so when did you start this?
Yeah, so I officially launched in 2021, but I had been working on it since 2019.
Oh wow. Okay. So what were you doing in those 2 years? Just like preparing everything?
So the project was part of my Girl Scout Gold Award, and that was a very long and tedious process because it took about a year to get the project approved, and then about a year to execute and to finalize and get it approved for the final draft. And so during that time, I was planning and coming up with the timeline for what I wanted the program to look like in a year, and also what I wanted it to look like long term. I was getting people on board. I was recruiting speakers and mentors. I was planning promotional stuff. So I launched an Instagram page pretty soon after I officially launched the program. And then I planned to expand it from there. So it was a very long process. A lot of it was slowed down by going through Girl Scouts, to be
Yeah.
honest. But it was a lot of great time to plan. And then I did have to redirect because of COVID. I initially had a much different plan.
Yeah.
And so I did get a little bit backtracked there. Yeah.
What was your plan pre-COVID, if you don't
Yeah,
mind?
yeah, of course. So it was much smaller scale, ironically. It was going to be incorporated into my high school's business program
Hmm.
and be sort of run through there. Everything was going to be in person. The mentoring was going to be in person at their own time, like coffee chats and things like that.
Mhm.
And it was just going to be a lot of people that I knew at my high school and in my area. Honestly, COVID did me a favor because it forced me to change
Hmm.
it to virtual, which allowed me
Yeah.
to reach people all over the country and expand the scale, made it a lot more convenient for everyone else.
Yeah. So I mean, you really just like I mean, you just took advantage of like
Yeah.
the time that you know, and that's what smart people have to do. You have to take advantage of the opportunities that are given to you. I mean, you were able to expand your business just based off of like a widespread disease. Like,
Yeah,
isn't that funny?
pretty
I
much.
mean, yeah. Um, so I see that you were a leading officer in the Black Student Union at your high school. Did this at all did this experience at all like shape like your view for why we need Black women in business and like the need and the importance of that?
Yeah, so a lot of the officers in Black Student Union at the time that I was in a leading role were girls. And it just kind of reinforced the importance of creating spaces for empowering Black girls,
Mhm.
especially Black girls in leadership. And it just reinforced that idea that I had with my
Mhm.
program and the importance for that.
Okay, okay. I think that's really important, taking advantage of like what your school actually offers you. You know, a lot of young entrepreneurs think they're gonna get all their information from the internet or YouTube or whatever, but I feel like our schools actually do offer important things like that, and the best way to just learn is just to get involved. I do
Mhm.
the same thing in my high school. So I have another question for you. I see that you have a mentorship program on your nonprofit organization. Can you kind of explain how that works?
Yeah, of course. So it has changed a little bit in the past couple years. Initially, it started out as being sort of separate from the workshops. I would match the girls and their mentors based on their interests in industries
Mhm.
to get someone that's relevant for their career goals. And then I would send over some talking points and guidelines, and they would set up their own time to meet either on Zoom or phone call, in person if possible, and basically discuss those. I would provide conversation starters, and then they could build off of that. That was the first year. It had a lot of flaws.
Mhm.
So this year and in years going forward, it is incorporated directly into our workshops, and directly related to everything that's we're learning in the workshops,
Mhm.
in the form of breakout rooms. So
Mm.
we'll have some lectures from speakers, and then they'll break out to talk to their mentors about what they just learned, and build off of that.
Okay, okay. So how do you find these mentors? Like, what's the criteria to become a mentor?
There's not much criteria. You basically just have to be a business professional that's
Okay.
willing to participate. Um, I do all the promotion on Instagram and LinkedIn and through word of mouth. A lot of it is this is where the connections come in.
Yeah.
It's people that know people in business. Um, my dad works in corporate. He helped me find some coworkers and people he's worked with in the past that were interested, and then people spread the word. And then they just sign up. And then a lot of them come back years after to mentor again.
Mm. Okay, okay. So I see you're a freshman at UC Berkeley with a media studies major. So why'd you pick this major? Did you kind of pick that major to help you learn how to like boost black girls in business? Was that one of
Um,
the reasons?
so it wasn't really a factor of why I chose this major. I'm interested in pursuing a career in social media management and marketing, which will likely be kept separate from my work with Black Girls Think Business. However, I do recognize that I can use a lot of the knowledge that I gain in my major to
Mhm.
improve my marketing for Black Girls Think Business,
Mhm.
and the skills that I use running marketing for Black Girls Think Business to help me in my career. So it goes hand in hand. On the side, in addition to my major classes, I do take business classes. I took an intro class last year. I'm doing a leadership class this semester, and those directly help me with Black Girls Mean Business.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay. So how do you find the balance between like homework? Because I know it can't be easy at UC Berkeley, homework and working on this as well, like on Black Girls in Business. Where do you find
Yeah.
that balance, and how do you? I don't know if stay motivated is the right question, but like what keeps you going, I guess.
Yeah, it's very difficult to stay on top of everything. It, like you said, at UC Berkeley, it is an intense workload, and running Black Girls Meeting Business is as well. So I'd say the key to finding the balance is staying very, very organized.
Mhm.
I have a very detailed timeline for both Black Girls Meeting Business and my personal life and my weekly planner. And I'm just making sure that I have everything laid out and that I have deadlines noted so that I can get everything done in a timely manner. And then staying motivated. I just really think about my goals and where I want to take this, which it's pretty easy to stay motivated. I have a lot of big goals for Black Girls Mean Business and where I want to take that. That keeps me on top. I mean, I love working and I love taking on new projects. So it's something that I'm always excited to do. Staying motivated for my schoolwork, just thinking about my career and where I want to end up down the line. It's also important to make sure that I take time for myself and make sure that I'm just not getting too overwhelmed.
Mhm. Okay. So how did you, okay, so my question is about UC Berkeley. What was the application process like, and like how difficult? I don't know to say how difficult it was to get in there, but I'm just starting the college application process myself. And I don't know, I just want to talk about that a little bit if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. Good luck on college
Thank
applications.
you.
It can be stressful, but it's very exciting.
Mhm.
The physical application to UC Berkeley was not difficult at all because it was it's all connected within the UC system. So it's one application that goes to all the different schools. So that eliminates some of the stress. I found that it seemed to be a little bit more I guess, user-friendly than some of the other common college applications like Common App. But I think you have a lot of really amazing experiences that you should not sell yourself short on your application. Like that is your space to brag about yourself, and list everything that you've done. Do not sell yourself short, I think is the biggest thing. UC Berkeley in particular really values extracurriculars. Maybe even more so than academics, just
Really?
showing that you're, well, like relatively.
That makes me kind of happy.
Yeah, like I didn't have the best test score. Actually, I didn't submit any test scores. They don't require them. And I didn't take a million AP classes. I mean, I did well in my classes, but not like I wasn't the best academic wise at my school.
Mhm.
But they like to see that you're balanced and that you're like interesting, and your
Mhm.
blog definitely makes you stand out. So
Well,
I
thank you.
think you're good. And don't sell yourself short.
I will not. Thank you.
Mhm.
So I see you also are into volunteer work, volunteering at Second Harvest of Silicon Valley and Habitat for Humanity. What do you think the importance is of volunteer work, and like, do you encourage other young people to do the same? Because I feel like doing work that isn't just for profit is very, very, very important, and I think we need to be doing, charity work as well.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, for Second Harvest, I was packing boxes and sorting food. And then for Habitat for Humanity, I cleaned the store. I was at the restore. So I cleaned the store, assembled furniture, and helped people carry things to their cars. And like you said, I think it is very important to do nonprofit work and do volunteer work. I think it builds a lot of really valuable skills like selflessness and empathy. That's very important life skills to have. Um, Volunteer work, I mean, it's something I'm doing right now with Black Girls in Business, and I have a team of youth volunteers. It was something I did a lot of in Girl Scouts, so it's always been a huge part of my life and something that I really value. And I do think it's very valuable for other people to, and youth especially, to get involved in, because it does build that character.
Yes, it's good for the soul.
Yeah, it
That's
really
my
is.
opinion.
Yeah,
I do volunteer a little bit with my school, and
good.
I don't know. I people a lot of because it is required by my school, and a lot of people like I don't want to say they dread it, but it's like not what they're looking forward to. That they
Mhm.
probably have like rather have like a regular school day. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I know a couple people like that. And for me, I don't know. I just like the experience. I think it's good to do things that are maybe a little bit out of your comfort zone, and just to help people with the resources that you were gifted.
No, exactly. And it's very rewarding.
Very. So after talking about all this, I just my perception of you is that you're a very intelligent person, very, very accomplished. So I just want to ask you, were you ever told that you wouldn't be able to accomplish all that you have? Like maybe that
Um,
you were too young, or you didn't have it. Like you said you didn't submit test scores. Like were you like, I don't know, were you ever discouraged on your journey?
Actually, no, I'm very lucky to be surrounded by a really great support system.
Mhm.
Everyone, my teachers, parents, classmates, everyone believed in me, and they always told me that I would be successful. But honestly, I was the one doubting myself because I'm so young and I didn't have a lot of experience. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea how to start a business. And I'm still kind of just figuring it out as I went along. But um, I did get a lot of help from my parents, from teachers, from mentors, and from volunteers, from friends. And then through trial and error, I realized what worked and what didn't work. And I've grown a lot since I've started Black Girls Mean Business. I think a lot of it was just like letting myself be okay with the fact that I didn't necessarily know what I was doing all the time and that I was learning, and to just go easy on myself.
Yeah. So your main point is just don't be too hard on yourself. Just like let yourself like don't, I don't know. I mean, you said it better than I, but just like believe in yourself. Don't tell yourself you can't do anything because you can't. And I think that's a
Yeah,
really good
exactly.
lesson for young people in business or in starting nonprofits or anything that they want to start. I think that's really important. They can't be afraid to stand out. They can't be afraid to just, be what they truly can be.
Yeah, I'd say my biggest advice for anyone that's like trying to start an initiative or is doing something outside of their comfort zone is to not be afraid to ask for help, because it can be daunting to try and take on all of this by yourself, and recognizing that if there's something that you don't know exactly what to do, like if you don't know exactly where to start when starting a business, there are people that have done that are willing to give you guidance. And then also to not be afraid of failures and setbacks. That's something that you're just going to naturally encounter. But it's a great opportunity to see what went wrong, why it went wrong, and to use that as an opportunity to improve.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, that kind of ties into my next question, but what advice would you give other young entrepreneurs on how to be successful like yourself?
Yeah, I'd say to make a plan, well, in addition to what I already said, but to also make a plan, a long-term plan and a short-term plan, and goals that you have. So what do you want to accomplish in this 1 year, and how are you going to get there? If you don't know how you're going to get there, who are you going to ask to figure out how you're going to get there? And then long-term plan, what are your goals for how far you want to take this project, and how do you want to do that, basically? When I first made my plan through Girl Scouts, very early on in this process, it was incredibly vague, like very vague. I had no set plans for how I was going to accomplish it, but I had a general idea of where I wanted to end up. And then as the year went on, I sort of figured out what would be required. As I started diving into the process, I realized what I would need in order to take it to that next step. And then and from there, I was able to make it a more detailed plan as I went along.
Okay. Okay. So as we're wrapping up, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. You've been an amazing guest. You have the floor for any self-promotion. You want to link your Instagram or anything, you have the floor right now. This is your time to do so.
Amazing. So I'm going to promote my 2023 program for Black Girls Mean Business. Signups for mentors and students are open right now. It's tinyurl.com/2023 BGMB signup and tinyurl.com/2023 BGMB mentor. It's completely free, 100% virtual, June and July this summer. And we have 5 Zoom workshops ranging on career development topics like entrepreneurship, financial literacy, college, job applications, etc. And then all information for my program can be found on our website, which is bgmb.info, and our Instagram, Black Girls Mean Business Program.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming on. It's been lovely talking to you, and have an amazing day.
You too. Thank you so much for having me.